Hi, and welcome to another episode of Philo. This is episode 82, Philo and Dog's Excellent Adventure. I would like to introduce our guest, which is Dave Alvarez. That's the gentleman here. Let me turn down the music a little bit, and that way we can be somewhat conversational. And I'll even turn it to, we'll do like this future pop thing. Robin's going to join us in a second. And let me talk a little bit about Dave, because he's cool people, and cool. I'll throw up his screen up here. Let me make it the big screen. I'll make it the big screen. There
you are.
And I realize I have it all reversified. Let me fix that.
It happens.
Video
technical
settings.
issues.
Well, I had some settings I needed to change, but yes. Okay. So about the artist, Dave Alvarez is not just an artist; he's a visual storyteller whose bold imagination has powered some of the biggest names in animation. He's not lying. He's not lying there. That's not ego talking on his website. That's just facts. Them's just facts. You have worked on The Boys. You've worked on Looney Tunes. You've worked on Scooby-Doo. You have worked on Donald Duck, and you have had checks cashed from Disney and stuff, and various places like Nickelodeon and I think Cartoon Network.
Yep.
You have lived the childhood dream of many kids, including myself, who wanted to draw comic books, and ended up working day jobs and stuff. But at the same time, look at this. This is just, I just have to show, this is his spread on when you first go to his website. This is what he shows, right? This is just some cool stuff, and a lot of these are just for funsies drawings that you just kind of do to keep your skills up. And unfortunately, you had some. This is some storyboard stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you had some technical issues, so you're not going to be drawing tonight. But I wanted to show everybody how awesome you are at stuff.
Oh, thank you.
And I first met Dave digitally years ago. We worked on Modern Tales together. He did a comic called Yenny, which I respected because it was done both in English and Spanish, and I learned a lot of Spanish reading it in both English and Spanish. I'm sure a lot of people learned English reading it in both English and Spanish. These are your characters, aren't they?
No, those characters are for Netflix. That's for I think our Cat Burglar. It's like an interactive game, but it's made in Tex Saver style. So that's from The Boys. That's Laser Baby Day Out, which is a short subject that they did.
Yeah.
They wanted to emulate the Chuck Jones style, so I kind of tried to emulate that. So yeah, it was a fun gig.
Well, she's a cutie pie. It's one of my favorite ones of the Diabolical little shorts that they do. And so there she is. There's her little colored key, and there she is crying. And Bugs, because you always have to. Bugs is not an easy character to draw.
I don't know. I heard that a lot, and I don't know if I got used to him or something, but it's those are for Bye Bye Bunny. That was one of the features that Warner Brothers just killed.
They brought back Coyote versus Acme, Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. So it could come back. I have hope.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe
something being on the shelf doesn't mean it's in the can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
we're hoping. there was a lot of work done there.
And I know that it's like people are like, okay, that's just Porky Pig, but it's like to draw a character that looks like the character is amazing. And so okay, I'm just fanning over actual character stuff. Let me show like some of the comics, and then we're gonna be drawing some comics. And so this is some of the Looney Tune comics that you've done.
Yep.
And you got the gang here, the Scooby Gang.
Oh, thank you.
And I believe this is Tex Avery, or I'm sorry, not Tex Avery. Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex, and
Jonah Hex.
Yeah, and that's Yosemite Sam there.
Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny. That was a special issue because they were making this mashups with Looney Tunes and the average DC characters, and I was not supposed to get there. I wasn't supposed to get in because they wanted weird styles, and so I said, hey, what if I redesign Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam? Can I go in? And they said, well, if you can make them look a little bit different, and so I did.
Your style's not considered weird enough?
No, apparently no.
Really? You can't go weird? Let's go weird tonight. Let's prove it. Okay.
Yeah, let's go weird.
Well, okay. I will go weird on your behalf tonight. And
awesome.
Yes. And so this is some of your Muppet art. More of the Scooby Gang. More Muppets. I love your Kermit.
Thank you.
I love the expressions in your Kermit. And then of course Sam Eagle, looking much more expressive than the puppet.
Yeah.
And
kind of.
Your Wile E. Coyote is very wily. And then I'm curious why this Ninja Turtle story never got finished.
Oh yeah, it was finished. It was just a pencil stage.
Oh, you just wanted to show the pencils.
But I drew several issues for IDW 2014 version. No, 2017. I think it was, and there was a lot of comics that I did for them before they ended up the Nickelodeon CGI series.
Well, I do like your Splinter. He's very cool looking there. So, okay, so where are we? By the way, Robin snuck in the bottom there.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening.
And so, Robin, Dave, Robin. And
nice to meet you, Dave.
I'm going to show where we are in the story, and then I'm going to blow up everyone's faces, and then we'll get to drawing.
Yeah, because I actually missed the majority of the last episode.
Yeah. So this is where we started with the last episode, was the Constantine Shroom John Constantine Shroom saying, my work here is done. So when Philo went to whence he came, it was when TV meets the internet. And so Al Gore delivers him in the delivery room and cuts the cord. And our group attends because they're there from whence Philo came. The naming ceremony, and there's Al Gore holding up the young Philo. And then Philo is older than you know. And we have there the Armand as the architect. And the first Philo I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless, sublime.
Oh.
And then Philo escapes the Matrix on top of the phone booth with Armand. I imagine Mushroom and the dog are inside the phone booth. And so they're on an excellent adventure. And that's...
Yeah, I was just going to say, is that the Bill and Ted's phone booth? Okay, excellent.
Yes. And so this is where we're starting. And I think that it's going to be a fun time. So what happens, where do they go in their phone booth or on their phone booth or within their phone booth? Like, what happens?
Bill and Ted would go and find historical figures, so maybe we should have our crew find different historical figures, but historical figures nonetheless.
Maybe historical figures for Philo.
Sure.
That works.
So okay. So who's historical in his life? So his mother was the internet, I guess, and his father was a television set. Should we do a montage?
He has siblings?
There's
You
many
think he has
Philos.
siblings? What?
There's many Philos. We've determined that. And Pierre says, "Top cat, nice bugs." That's one of our viewers, by the way.
Oh,
If
okay.
you're looking at the chat on the right hand of the screen,
yeah,
you can
there
see
they are.
the viewers. So
Yeah.
okay. So
Nikola Tesla, good idea, Pierre.
so
Nikola Tesla, yeah.
they gather historical figures from Philo's life.
Really? Why are they doing that?
I was gonna say.
I
Tom
thought they
from
were just
MySpace.
visiting them.
Well, I mean, in the movie, they gathered them because they bring them to their history class.
Oh.
So why is our crew doing it?
I don't know. Maybe
I think we should figure that out before. Then it'll help us figure out which historical figures they need. Nikola Tesla is a great idea, though, because it doesn't matter. They're like internet and TV. It's kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking if they're gathering historical figures, maybe the great reveal is why. We're just going along for the ride. But I don't know. And Thomas Edison, they fight. Says Pierre. So okay. Let's see. They gather historical figures from Philo's life. So, Dave. Why?
I was gonna suggest Tom from MySpace.
Tom from MySpace? Okay, I'll look up a picture. Why'd you start drawing? Why'd you start drawing, Dave?
What? When did I start drawing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I think I've been doing that all my life. But you mean like professionally, or just when I took my first paper and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna screw this up"?
No, I meant like professionally. Like when you made the decision that like I'm gonna try and make this a career.
Oh well, I kind of grew up in an environment, different to what you will imagine. My whole family was consistent of factory workers, and if you're gonna be there, you're gonna be a factory worker as well. But I didn't want to be a factory worker, so I was, what am I gonna do? And then I figured out, because I was very into comic strips and stuff, and I said, that should be, somebody should be behind this and making money, So my first try was comic strips. When I was in high school, there was a local newspaper, and I suggested that I could draw, a little comic strip, which I did. It was called Sasha and Angeline, which was the precursor for Jenny, and Sasha was there. Jenny was there, but she was called Angeline by then, and they published my stuff, and I got paid for it. So that was my first gig in high school.
So you got the bug at that point.
Yeah, I kind of got the bug at that point, and then eventually, keep on moving. I started seeing other newspapers that were larger. I started asking if I could join. Until I got into, the internet came around, and there was, we met in Modern Tales. There was another place where you could put your comic strips there. So I started moving until I got into Go Comics, which was, I think that was the largest comic site that I could be in. And then I move on, and more stuff happened after that. So.
How did you get your job as a character designer?
My job as a character designer?
Like, do you audition when you see the, like, does like, I don't know, what do they call them? A prospectus go out and all these animators audition and show their designs for these characters, and then they pick the best one and they work with that one, or?
I'll say that everything happens serendipitously, because when I started working in comics, I joined the Looney Tunes comics. Mm-hmm. The editor once she called me and said, someone from Warner Bros. Animation is asking if you can do storyboards. Nice. And is there something I learned in my career is never say no. So
that's good advice.
Yeah. So you know how to make storyboards? And I said, yeah, sure, of course. I knew how they were done. I studied in university how to do it, but I never done it professionally. So that was my first gig. So they signed me off for Crypto the Super Dog, and I remember, my first storyboard. Eventually, that moved into other stuff in the industry. They once asked for character design, and I said, yeah, sure, I can do character design. I started helping on the Looney Tunes show, developing characters and doing more stuff. And I think that's how it happened. So it's moving from one place to the other. So.
Yeah.
What has been your? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say that, I imagine that luck is when opportunity meets preparation, though. Like, you have to kind of practice. You have to, like, how do you put together a character? Like, before that, too.
I think you gotta screw things a lot before you say, okay, I'm almost there. So I can say, I always talk about that everything that went well, but there has been other occasions, when things just suck, and I try doing something and say, hey, yeah, this doesn't work because of this or this or this or this. You're fired. So that's when I learned not to do one thing and try to do, educate myself to do more stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's a try and error thing, I think.
Yeah. It just really depends on what. I realize I need black.
What has been your favorite show to work on so far? Because you have a lot of credit.
I have a lot of credits there, so I think. What can I say? My favorite show was the Looney Tunes show. That was one of them, and I had a lot of fun working on. Which one was the latest one that I did? I worked on I think it was Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. That was another one that was pretty cool. Oh, and obviously Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. I had a lot of creative freedom on that one. I love working on that show. I wish that show could last forever because it was great.
Did you find it scary working on that? Because that's an insane classic. I know it's become public domain recently, so I'm not surprised. Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah. But it was fun because it was Cartoon Network's version of the Wizard of Oz. It was called Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. It was very cartoony, and Keck Singleton, who was the director, was he gave me a lot of freedom, and we could create a lot of funny stuff. And I remember having our sessions, and we would laugh a lot, coming up with just stupid stuff to do on Dorothy. And it went well, until they decided to close Cartoon Network. We were having fun, God forbid we're having fun. But that's how it happened.
Well, that's not your fault that they closed Cartoon Network,
No,
that was shocking, I gotta say, when they did that. Because I don't think Cartoon Network was losing a ton of money or anything.
No. Some bean counter somewhere that made the decision.
It's kind of it's a bureaucratic decision, because if you can see, I was at the WB building a couple of years ago, and they were preparing a whole floor for the Cartoon Network. So it's not like they close the old building and they move everything to this other building. So they're there, but everything operates under Warner Bros. Animation. Just like with the owners. So it's kind of they're not done. They're just moved. So
they just have a different name.
They just have a different.
So Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, those books and that whole brand is iconic. Do you have a favorite character? I don't necessarily have a favorite character, but my favorite thing about that whole thing was when they did Return to Oz. I thought as a kid, and it was the most scary, creepiest thing ever, and I never forgot it.
The heads.
Yeah, I remember
the heads in the room.
Mombi and the heads. The wheelies with their squeakies and their laughs. There's so many weird things, but there's so many good things too. I was totally obsessed with the lunch pail tree. When they plucked it and then they opened it up and it was a lunch. Or when she turned the Chesterfield into a moose and they flew away. And it was all an allegory for her to get electric shock therapy.
That was so crazy. You know that I remember seeing that scene when I was little, and I was like, are they giving the little girl electric shocks? Are they doing that for real?
She's in an insane asylum. And is she making it all up to just deal with the pain?
It's insane. It's something I have nightmares about the movies.
But do you have a favorite character?
Well, when I was working on the Wizard of Oz, definitely the lion. The
Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, I just don't know. He did a wonderful job doing the voice, and I just enjoyed.
Who did the voice? Sorry.
Just don't know. He was the one who made the voice for Wacko of the Animaniacs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the Animaniacs.
Gosh, Wacko or Yakko?
Oh, Wacko.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember his name.
Yeah, Jess Harnell, I think it's
Jess Harnell, yes.
Yeah, Jess Harnell. And every time they send me his audio and I have to draw over his, he improvised a lot. And I was having a blast because the guy was so funny, so damn funny. He came up with some stupid stuff that you would never imagine. And I enjoy drawing that character because of that. So every time that he was on scene, I wanted just to draw it. So it was cool.
I love the Animaniacs. There would be so many moments where I'd be like, did I just hear what I thought I heard? It would just be these subtle adult jokes flying over your head unless you were really paying attention.
One of my favorite jokes in the Animaniacs is when they meet Michelangelo and they say, ceilings, we paint only ceilings. We don't paint floors because they're beneath us.
My one that I memorized that always made me laugh was, so of course, Pinky and the Brain's always trying to take over the world. And he realizes through country music he could brainwash millions. And so he becomes a country music star, Billy Bob Bo Bob Brain. And so he's on this night show, which is the Jay Leno show, basically. And the other person on the show with him is basically Dolly Parton. And he's somebody, I think Jay Leno has made a joke, and Dolly Parton is laughing. And she goes, "Oh, Billy Bob Bo Bob Brain, what do you think about that?" And he looks at her and he goes, "I would say puberty was inordinately good to you." So subtle. So good.
Yeah, there's also one thing where they're looking for they're investigating, right? And they're like, okay, we need to look for fingerprints, right? And Doc comes back with prints. And he's like, no,
prints, yeah, that's what
I know. She's like, this is a kid's show. Right?
This is a kid's show. Come on.
Sometimes we forget.
Fingerprints.
I love there was 2 other cartoons that did stuff like that. There was an episode of Tiny Toons that was all They Might Be Giant songs, which was just
same writers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just. And then I remember I was watching an episode of SpongeBob once, and they came out of the water, and it was Fishing with John Lurie, which is like this really like underground like show that's really hard to find, where he takes like Tom Waits and Willem Dafoe to fish whatever animal they want. Like at one point, I don't know if it was Dafoe or Clint Eastwood or somebody. It wasn't Clint Eastwood, but it was somebody weird. They wanted to go find swordfish, and he took them swordfish fishing. But anyways, when Patrick goes flying out of the water, it's that show. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching? This is amazing. Maybe, I don't know, is SpongeBob the same writers too? I wouldn't be surprised.
Since we're talking about the writers of Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs, Freakazoid. And since we're talking about obscure show references, they had Norm Abrams from the New Yankee Workshop kidnapped on Freakazoid. And then he saves Freakazoid. And it was really Norm Abrams.
Yeah.
The New Yankee Workshop was on PBS.
Okay. Sorry.
The New Yankee Workshop taught you how to build things with wood.
Yeah.
It was like a chill program. It was like he was like the Bob Ross of woodworking.
Cool. Very cool.
And so it was like, you have to understand that like I used to watch both shows. So for me, it was like my Avengers.
Yeah, your Avengers.
Like, oh, it was awesome.
The end game
awesome.
of animation.
Yes, it was amazing. It was amazing for me.
I'm
almost done with Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think I watched anything on PBS in my childhood. But the other day, this comic book friend of mine, Victor Caro, was talking about this show, and I was like, dude, that's a Toronto show. That's like our CBC, our PBS, like one of our kids shows from the 80s. How did you see that?
Yeah.
But like things gets transmitted across borders, like if you get satellite or whatever, right? But yeah, I was just like, that's insane, man. Like, I used to watch that show when I was 6. The other thing is, you guys know this actress. I think her name is Gloria Rubens. She's a black actress. She used to be on ER. If you saw her, you would recognize her because she's been in a ton of stuff. I don't know if it's her stepbrother or her actual brother, but is this actor Denny Samard. And he was on a kid show when I was a kid called The Polka Dot Door. Like, this was like late 70s, early 80s. And like, I love that show and watched it obsessively. And it wasn't like anything amazing, but it was like, for kids, it was like sweet and nice and big puppets and like, good morals and nice colors and stuff. Anyways, he came into the bookstore I worked at one time and I lost my mind. And my coworker was like, what is wrong with you? And I was just like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm sure you get this from people my age all the time.
Was he happy to someone recognizes me?
Yeah. Probably.
Oh, she recognized.
He's like, he was probably like, I've done so much more.
I don't know.
Well, like, even I had a chance to meet Carol Spinney, the guy who did Oscar the Grouch and Big Bird, and I didn't take that chance because I knew I would be sobbing and I would not be able to handle it at all. I love, and one time, what is it? OK Go got to do the theme song to the new Muppet Show. And I saw the lead singer and he was talking to Kermit and he was losing his mind. You could tell he was just like, and I was like, why is he being so weird? And then I thought about it for a second. Of course, I too would be freaking out. Like, I know the Muppets aren't real, but like, if they were there talking to you, it's such a huge part of your life,
I heard
such an experience.
I heard a reporter talking about it once, where they had Gonzo on the show for some reason. It was during COVID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was the puppeteer talking and like, okay, let's do tech check and blah blah blah, and like I do tech check, right? And then Gonzo popped up, right? And he said in his mind the puppeteer was Gonzo's tech guy. Right?
It's Gonzo's roadie.
Yeah, it was just Gonzo's tech guy.
Gonzo's tech guy. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's incredible because the Henson puppeteers were very great, especially Jim Henson when he was alive, because he, the interviews, he was just chilling, sitting and having Kermit here, and everybody was looking at Kermit. Kermit was on your, how you doing? And you were kind of looking at Kermit, and you were not looking at Jim at all. Mm-hmm. And the guy here is not moving his lips. It was kind of cool.
The other thing, like when I tell people, like I worship Jim Henson. Like to me, he is a genius and a god amongst men. Because to me, he created a new art form. Nobody had put together marionettes and puppets before him. B, he has made millions upon millions upon millions of people laugh, cry, and he's also educated them with Sesame Street. Like at least 5 generations, around the world, like the whole universe, right? And I don't think you can say that anybody else has done that. And he's just, to me, he's just an amazing person. And I mean, I'm not saying he's not human. Like, I'm sure he's got his flaws. And I think he was a womanizer. I can't say for sure. But he was a workaholic. And he definitely was a workaholic because that's what caused his death.
Exactly. He wouldn't go to the hospital, and he was also he didn't take antibiotics either when he got there.
Yeah,
and the other thing though, to be a Muppeteer is insane. They had a TV strapped to them, and they had to learn how to do everything backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the art, it's not an easy job, and it's so impressive.
So Dave has a Kermit, by the way, a really good one. I've seen, and
but mine's not a Muppet.
And he also has I'm gonna sound like a fan here. He has a cool Ghostbusters car, like an Ecto 1. An Ecto 1, baby.
An Ecto 1. That was my COVID project.
Yeah.
Did you did you make it as a model or a Lego or what do you mean project? Oh, a real one. Holy moly, I did not realize. No kidding.
Yeah,
no wonder you're jealous.
Like you take it on, like it goes on parades, right? Like you show the girl, right? Like you take her out on walks, right?
Yeah,
I take him to parades.
Dave has an actual Ecto 1 car that he drives. Kay just showed up.
Okay, wait. I gotta see if I can find pictures.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I'm excited because Pierre knows exactly what I was talking about in the polka dot door because he just shouted out Pokeroo when we were talking about it. He also did you ever see Andy Kaufman do a bit with Howdy Doody? I cried. And that's because Andy Kaufman's an amazing actor.
Gosh, I'm looking in your Instagram. I don't see your car in the Instagrams.
So what was the other thing you were jealous of? What was the first thing you said? The second thing was the Ghostbusters car, and the first thing was, remind me, I forgot.
Well, there's a lot.
Kermit the Frog?
The Kermit the Frog.
Oh, yeah. So is that like an actual Muppet with sticks and everything, and you can put your hand in him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. No, I'm just clarifying. I'm imagining in my head, right?
And like I said, I sound like a total fangirl here. And there's a statue, Donald Duck, that we were talking about before the show. That based. You got to bring it close to the camera. I'll put you.
Yeah, I can't see any of that stuff back there. If you want to show it, I would be excited.
Yeah, I'll put you in the picture.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, look at all those ducks.
So this is based on one of Dave's drawings, and a friend of yours, I don't remember his name.
Nuno Martins.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So he modeled it, and then it's 3D printed. And
lovely. I love the painting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And so it's a unlicensed.
Well.
Is it?
I have news about this, but I cannot reveal yet.
You cannot reveal? Is it possibly like might be a special?
The way you just moved him, it looked so real. That was awesome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Can we see his back? Can I gotta see his tail?
Oh, there it is.
Oh my gosh, look at the tail.
I read actually today on the interwebs that Fantagraphics is reprinting a whole bunch of Carl Barks books now.
Oh.
They've done it in the past, but they're doing it again.
Making those
now.
covers, so.
Yeah. That's...
Sorry?
I made a couple of those covers for those comics.
Nice.
For Fantagraphics one, they asked me to do new covers for some of them.
Hey.
So,
oh, well, then you already know. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, I know about it.
Two covers, cool.
Yeah, that's why
hey, so
I was like, yeah.
Amber, who are our people picking up here? So you have Nikola Tesla in the middle?
I have Nikola Tesla in the middle. I have Edison on the right because Pierre suggested that they fight each other. And then I have Tom from MySpace on the left. Mm-hmm. And so those are the three people.
That's exactly how he looks. You're right.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I just wanted to recap for people that might have been showing up now.
Yes. So I know it's a little it's a little quick draw, but that's okay. That's what the show's
No,
about.
I think it looked really good. I think it was great.
So what happens next? I imagine that there's going to be a fight in the booth between Tesla and Edison, like while they're traveling, because Pierre said that there was a fight, right?
Well, I think they're both insulted that the other one was chosen to be part of this marvelous adventure. And so they're just super annoyed and frustrated, and that's what starts the fight.
Exactly. So
they have a story.
How dare you get how dare you get picked? And then I'll put it
Dave, do you have a dream project that you would like to work on that you haven't yet? Of like franchises and licensed projects and stuff? Pierre wants a slap fight. Pierre wants a slap fight.
Oh. Slap fight. Okay. Slap fight.
He also wants you to draw a character from Polka Dot Door, specifically Dumpty.
Okay.
That would be really cool.
All right.
Get some Canadian in there.
Okay.
Canadian.
So, Dumpty
the polka dot
from Polka Dot Door.
See you soon at the Polka Dot Door. They'll be friends. Faces and so much
is
more.
Dumpty the big tall one? The green long neck?
No, that's Pokey.
Okay, that's Pokey. Is Dumpty the Humpty Dumpty guy?
Yes. And then there's a girl. There's like a ragdoll, Raggedy Ann looking girl, if I remember correctly.
Okay, is Dumpty the green one or the brown one?
I gotta find my phone so I can look at it.
Here. Wait. No, I got a picture right here.
Okay,
which
post up.
Dumpty?
Oh, wait, what?
They are.
I don't remember. Yeah, there's the ragdoll one, and Pokey's the long, Poker is the yellow. But I don't remember which one is of the two. I'd imagine the one on the right.
Bigger egg, says Pierre. So
then that would be the one on the left.
H. That's the one with H. Okay. Now I know which one's Dumpty. Okay. So we'll assume that Dumpty was picked up earlier.
Dumpty's in the phone booth with Edison and Tesla having a slap fight. That's awesome.
Exactly. So we'll just have
What's
Dumpty
Tom doing? Cowering in the corner?
I think so. Yeah.
Or is he hunched over and texting his girlfriend on one of those like little phones from the mid 2000s?
We gotta do everybody in the phone booth, and the first thing we have.
Oh, Dave, we never got to talking about who you would like to work on. A dream.
Oh,
I guess the Ducks would be a dream because you're very excited to work on that.
Which one did you say?
The Ducks.
What would be your favorite thing to work on if you had a chance to that you haven't yet?
Actually, Ghostbusters. I've been trying.
Ghostbusters? You haven't worked on Ghostbusters yet?
No, I've been trying for ages to get it. They're doing a new show, and I have stalk everybody just to get there, but nobody answers, so I think they don't want me there. But
I don't think that's true. I think that it's just you're a really great artist. You're a powerhouse. And I think that people are scared to have a powerhouse in the building. And
I don't know. It's just
Amber, before you start dying, and I don't want to interrupt you, but we were wrong about Humpty and Dumpty. Pierce says Humpty has the H on his chest, so that's the big one with the purple coveralls. Dumpty wears a hat, so that's the small one, the small brown one.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I brought up a picture with both.
yeah.
The more
and I mean, honestly, I haven't watched that show since I was like 5, so I don't even think I've watched reruns of it. But you know, a show that I used to watch as a kid, speaking of Edison, is we had a show on CBC called The Edison Twins, and it was like these teenage twin brother and sister, and their brother who didn't look anything like them. And he was kind of, their younger brother was a buffoon, but the two twins were like geniuses, and they always like solved mysteries around town.
That's cool.
CBC. We had lots of cool CBC shows for kids.
Yeah, the CBC. The CBC used to do a lot of shows that became iconic at the end. One of them was a Muppet Show, actually. So.
No, you mean the BBC?
That's the BBC, not the CBC.
Yeah, the British Broadcasting Corp. The CBC is the Canadian.
CBC. Yeah.
The Canadian Broadcasting Corp. Actually, Pierre, you know what lives rent-free in my head is The Littlest Hobo. That's something I have revisited since I was a kid. We had another show about a German Shepherd that would just roam around Canada solving mysteries. Wait a minute, why are all these shows about people solving mysteries? It's like Due South, the one with the Mountie who had to go with the American cop solving mysteries. Everything solving mysteries.
Hey, it wasn't just Canada, okay? We had Ghost Rider, which was about an unparented group of children and a ghost that could move around words on like a menu.
I think I've seen some of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they solve mysteries. So,
I think I've seen some of that.
Yeah. So it wasn't just Canada having, unsupervised children solving mysteries.
Well, no, but the Littlest Hobo is a German Shepherd solving Canada solving mysteries.
Okay, speaking of PBS shows, does anyone remember Wishbone? Or is it just me?
Which one?
Wishbone was about the little dog that would go through like classic stories. Like they would do a retelling of like Robin Hood, but the dog would be Robin Hood. And they would do a retelling of like Romeo and Juliet, but the dog would be Romeo. They would
cute. No, I
remember that.
They would do a retelling of like, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but the dog would be the Hunchback.
That's really cute.
Yes, it was so cute.
That's cool.
Hey, Dave, tell us something about your childhood.
My childhood?
We already know about the Ghostbusters, so you can't use that one. We already know that's the biggest one, man. Damn.
I used to watch a lot of Sesame Street on PBS, and
did you go around solving mysteries?
Wandering U.S.
solving mysteries. I had a dog, but we solved mysteries every corner.
It would explain why you're so good at drawing the Scooby Gang.
Exactly. Solving mysteries.
We solve mysteries every second. Yeah, I used to watch, Sesame Street, and PBS over here used to have a lot of Latino shows like Villa Alegre, Plaza Sésamo, which was the Spanish version of Sesame Street. We had what other ones that we had? I think we have.
So, like in Canada, we had like 2 specific Canadian Muppets. Did you have like any Spanish Muppets on your Spanish Sesame Street?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Abelardo, that was instead of Big Bird, we have Abelardo. It was a big red dragon.
A red dragon.
A red dragon, yeah.
He sounds like he could kick Big Bird's butt.
Yeah.
But Big Bird's a lover, not a fighter. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he was very doofy. He talked just like this, and every time he asked for pumpkin seeds to eat. So it was very slow. And instead of Oscar the Grouch, we have Paco, who was it was like a parrot was always angry and screaming at everybody.
Last a couple weeks ago, I learned. Okay, do you guys call Bert and Ernie? Someone told me that you guys called Bert and Ernie Beto and Ernesto.
Beto y Enrique.
Oh, and that's right, and Enrique. Beto and Enrique.
Pierre, I too was raised by television. So you and I, we had the same upbringing.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I think a lot of us were raised by television.
And Kermit the Frog, it was Rana Rene. Over here.
What?
Kermit the Frog was Rana Rene. Rana is in frog and Rene is the name. Instead of Kermit, it was Rene. They changed that in the 2011 movie, the new one, because they wanted everybody to know Kermit as Kermit. So they made a video. It became universal. They made a video, saying, "Oh, everybody was, they call me Rene, they call me Gustavo, they call me, but I'm Kermit the Frog. I want everybody to know that I'm Kermit the Frog." And I was looking at that video and I was like, "What?"
That's not true.
That's corporate shit,
Yeah.
Well, Disney's destroyed it all. I mean, they've taken over Sesame Street, and that was one of Henson's dying wishes, is that they would never get their hands on Sesame Street.
No, because Sesame Street is not a Henson project. It's a Sesame Workshop project. Henson he made the puppets, and he had to share the puppets in Sesame Street. But yeah, Disney wanted to buy Sesame Street many times, and that drove him crazy, because he was trying to sell the Muppets, and the Muppets include everything. He had the Sesame Street Muppets, Fraggle Rock, everything else, but they just wanted the Muppet Show crew, was eventually what they sold for. By the way, Amber, I sent you a link to one of the Kermit videos that you were looking for on Instagram. I sent you one over the Messenger. Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Let me bring it over.
That's called Kermit Fan Frog.
Yeah. No one will be able to hear the sound if I play it, though. Only I can hear the sound, unfortunately.
Oh.
But this is him puppeteering.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I just don't. I'd have to download the video and then have it played as media. So it's no, I was just looking for pictures of your puppet. But yes, this is his puppet that he built. You built it, right? Did you build it?
That one, no, I didn't buy that.
You had it built.
I had it made, yeah.
That's okay. I had my puppet built too, so I cannot chastise others for doing that which I do.
I built like 2 or 3 versions before that one, but eventually I got in touch with someone who had an authentic puppet maker, and he made me that replica. So I was like, oh, finally I get a formal Kermit. So.
Yeah, now
I just have retro, I think he's from the early 80s or late 70s actual stuff. But he's what I would imagine Kermit size is. He's pretty big. He's got the floppy arms. He's just not hand up with sticks.
Well, actually, it should fit the hand, because you can see the head. The head is like this. It was Jim Henson's hand. When I had the first version of Kermit, I did it based on Jim Henson's hand, but this guy was very huge. He was 6 feet tall, and Kermit looked all floppy on my hand, so I had to reduce that and fit it to my hand. So, so that way I could, make those versions super huge.
You got the voice pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, again, that's
it's practice. Not easy.
Yeah, it's. I imagine like when you first started doing Kermit, it was how do I get that froggy sound?
Yeah, I got used to listen to Jim Henson all the time, because I used to listen, him performing Ernie and him performing, Kermit the Frog, and then eventually, because I was a very huge Muppet fan. And I saw everything. I saw Sesame Street. I saw the Muppet Show. Every special that had the Muppets, all the movies. So somewhere inside my head, Jim Henson's voice is still there. So
yeah,
we're done.
Isn't that weird how that can happen?
Yeah, it's very weird. You can get Kirby the Frog, or you can have Ernie, from Ernie and Bert. So you have those voices in your head somehow.
Recently, as I've gotten older, I've begun to sympathize more with Bert, but mostly because I've started really liking pigeons.
And oatmeal.
Yeah, and oatmeal. Yeah, I think they're just so awesome. All the characters are really neat. I'll be at work and I'll start singing Ladybug Picnic, and everybody starts singing along. It's just pervasive.
Ladybug Picnic. 1, 2, 3.
If
4,
I
5,
were
6.
Disney, $1 million idea is literally to just reboot the Muppet Show with the same format and new celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they refuse to do that.
I agree. I don't know why.
That's beyond me. I don't know. I think it's because they want to, Disney has
more control, maybe.
No, I don't think it's that. I think it has more to do with their their buyers, their people, because their audience is very specific. So the Muppet Show audience was very broad and brought a lot of people over there. So they just want, and that I think that's one of the reasons that they closed Muppet Mission 3D and move it over to this ride that nobody can ride. the Aerosmith ride, because they want the Muppets to be cool for their audience of tweens and teenagers, and they want.
I'm sorry, but Muppets are fun and they're silly, and they're they make you happy and everything. They're so cool in so many ways, but they're not cool, right?
Exactly.
Hey, ma'am.
And
the Dr. Teeth Band is cool.
Well, okay.
You can't argue that. I see your point, but that band is cool.
No. You're right. And they did start out on Saturday Night Live, hanging out with the not ready for primetime players smoking pot with, the adults. So it's not like the Muppets, were always for children.
No, they never were.
Yeah.
The Muppets are not for children. It's just that he managed to, be capable of having everybody look into the show. So it didn't offend anybody, but they were very adult. They have a lot of adult jokes in the old Muppet show. Remember the Paul Simon episode when they were saying that 50 ways to leave your lover. And they were changing everything to love your liver. So
yeah, that's right.
50 ways to love your liver, and then
musically, I always saw the weirdest people. For the first time, I remember I saw Alice Cooper on the Muppet Show for the first time. I saw Blondie on the Muppet Show for the first time. It's just they would have the most interesting musicians, and of course they'd have all these odd British actors. But at the time, I was living in Germany, so I was watching a lot of British TV.
They had Gomer Pyle singing opera.
Yeah.
Jim Neighbors. His name's Jim Neighbors.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct. He has a real name, and I shouldn't just call him Gomer Pyle. But it when you're a little kid, that blows your mind.
Yeah, that blows your mind. But yeah, as to why Disney haven't done the Muppet Show, even though, when they made the 2011 movie, everybody was into the Muppet. It was like a huge go, and everyone was into it. They started remembering the old shows, and that was the precise moment that they should have jumped into the Muppet Show, but they didn't. They just started doing all this crazy stuff, and because they want to please their viewers, and that's like, you have that there, you want to please these guys, but you can please everybody else, it's like, you know, it's crazy, and they don't want to take that risk. I don't know why, but
they have
it is what it is.
all the freaking money in the world, all the money in the world. Like you can afford to take the risk. Take the risk.
Of course, they can take the risk. They are, and that's what they did, because when the 2011 movie came out, they made a huge marketing campaign so everybody could remember who the Muppets were, and they made them cool. We're talking about Disney. Disney can make cool whatever they want because they have all the money in the world. They can get into social media. They can go into anything else, and everybody will fall into it.
I'm just saying that, like, okay, think about how. And Jim Nabors has a real voice, says Kay. Seeing Luke, C-3PO, and R2-D2 on the Muppets is scare. I watched those. They really weren't that funny. They had their moments, and they were beautiful. The SNL crew hated them, says Kay. Nice dumping. Thank you. Yes, what I wanted to get about, like the format, okay? Imagine having someone like Jason Momoa, right?
Exactly, right.
That would be fun.
Miss Piggy, and she wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
As like the episode, right?
They can do so much stuff.
I want that episode, right? It's just, you could have Taylor Swift just singing her songs.
Exactly, and then talking to Kermit backstage. Yeah.
How is that not cool for the younger
Is Piggy
generation?
getting jealous?
Yeah,
they can do,
the story's right.
You're right. It would be the perfect encapsulation of a pop culture moment, whatever they decided to do it. But
and there's another thing that's maybe stopping them from doing stuff. For example, we have the Muppet Show now on Disney Plus, but not all the episodes are there.
Yeah.
Because of rights and stuff, and when they pursue those kind of things, back in the day, you can sing whatever you wanted, and you can have this actor singing whatever they wanted. But for some reason today, everything is protected, everything is copyrighted, everything is, and they have to go through all those channels to make it work. So if, for example, they take Jason Momoa has an exclusive contract with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So they have to ban stuff to having be a guest on the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
And they have to use the roster of characters that are inside, or actors that are inside the Disney, ABC, or whatever they represent.
But Hollywood has always worked that way.
Of course.
It's always had the studio system. That's how you had films like It Happened One Night made. Is because Clark Gable was showing up drunk for his MGM movies, so they traded him to Columbia, and they, as like a punishment to him. You're going to this tiny little studio, and you're going to be making little dumpy pictures. Well, they paired him with Frank Capra, and they made It Happened One Night, which cleared out, all the theaters from MGM, and it was the first romantic comedy. It invented a genre, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And no one expected that. And then Clark Gable went in just kind of swaggering back to MGM and went, hey, guess what? I just made them millions of dollars. Let's renegotiate my contract. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, you gotta take the risk sometime. I don't know.
Yeah, you gotta take the risk, and they can take the risk again. They don't want to.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, she got engaged today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Miss Swift.
Well, I mean, I think she has a good one. He seems to love her. He puts he put lip gloss on her. Like in public. The TMZ got it, where like she had a bunch of bags, and so he reached into her purse and had lip gloss and put it on her, and I think that's sweet.
That's cool.
She was shopping.
Very sweet.
Yeah. So
very
I don't know.
secure in his masculinity. Way to go.
That's what I'm saying. He seems like a good one. So I hope
Yeah.
she's found happiness. But
Hey, Dave, can I see your Smurf stuff?
now the
This one here?
stuff's coming out.
Well, I can see the houses. I
Oh
see the
yeah,
houses.
I have a lot of Smurfs there because when I was little, I had a whole wall of Smurfs with the village and stuff in my house. That was like my hobby when I was a little kid.
Nice.
You know? I had birthdays and Christmases and stuff, and I say, oh yeah, you know what I want? I want a Smurf, and everybody should. You know, I remember having like 101 Smurfs or something like that, and with all the houses. And I lost them all in a moving during moving. The box did never arrive. So eventually, I started buying everything again. I have I have the houses, and now they're making new Smurfs. For example, this one.
Is that a new one?
Yeah, that's a new one. And they're making them look more cartoony.
Yeah, they are. They look really good, actually. I've seen them, and
Yeah.
because I was in the mall about a month ago, and the girls, like the little girls, there's a place called Claire's. It's like for
Claire's,
girls to get hair or stuff. They had a huge display about Smurfette, but it was all like so 80s. It was all like the yellow, the white, the blue. It looked excellent. I was like, I stopped in my tracks.
Yeah.
Well, 80s is retro now.
But
hi, Mom.
I have a bunch. Let's see here. Can I turn my camera around? No, I can't. I have a whole bunch. I have a whole bunch of Smurfette.
Oh, there you are. You have
This isn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I have my own house, like a Smurf house.
Oh, that's cool.
I had my nephews were living here, and they made a lot of messes, so I kind of had a bunch of them put away. But there's like a bunch there. My most favorite one is this one.
Mermaid
Smurfette. And the other day, not too long ago, I was looking at them, and I realized that I don't know if you can see it, but the secretary Smurfette, she has like a little sweat bead on the side of her head.
Oh.
She's like nervous. I was like, what? That's amazing. But the thing is, when I was growing up and when I was a kid, I used to have them all like in this Crown Royal bag. And whenever we would travel to like another country, because we lived in Germany, so we'd go to like Italy or we'd go to France or whatever. I couldn't talk to the other kids, but I could play with my Smurfs and they could play with me. So Smurfs were a big deal for me too. So I too had to recollect a bunch of them, and I was happy to see a lot of them were made in Germany, even though they're Belgian. And I got to go to this cartoon museum. It was a Musea Band Dessinée in Belgium, and they had a giant Smurf house that you get your picture taken with, and they had like the whole history of the Smurf comics.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It was great. Les Stromps.
That's amazing. I actually work on the new series. I don't know. I kind of froze there. I work on the.
You kind of what?
Am I moving because I cannot see my picture?
No, I can see you.
No, I see you. You're moving.
Yeah, you're moving. Yeah.
I don't know why it's not moving here. Anyway, I work on the new version of the Smurf as a storyboard artist.
Awesome.
Nice.
So it was kind of that was one of the things that I wanted to get a check mark from my childhood because I wanted to work on a Smurf show.
Yeah.
And when they reached out to me, I was like, oh, finally, I could put into the Smurfs. And I storyboarded just one episode. What is there? It was kind of fun, working and visiting old characters and knowing them by heart. And I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. It was cool.
So did you only did the one episode, or did they ask you for more?
No, I just did one because that was in France. And the communication was kind of
very slow. And,
yeah, because when it was night here, when it was day over there, and I had to deliver everything on the next day. So I know it was kind of difficult in that part. So I needed to.
Where is here? You don't have to give your exact address, but like, what city do you live in?
Oh, Puerto Rico.
Oh, you're in Puerto Rico. Cool. Yeah. That's very cool.
Exactly. So it was kind of time zone was totally different, and I remember they had until 11 a.m. my side and that was like 6 p.m. to them, and they were just leaving, and they left me all the comments, so I have a whole day to go through them. So, it, even though it was kind of a good experience, it was also difficult because we couldn't communicate at the same time. It was, unless I decided not to sleep and then work overnight, and that would have been great. But it was a French production. I think it is because they had a second season recently.
Still,
they are pushing the Smurfs, that's for sure.
Still, that's very
cool. We lost them.
Oh no, Dave!
Amber, we lost him.
Dave, come back!
I'm here.
There he is.
I'm
okay.
here. I don't know what happened there.
No,
sorry.
we just sometimes we have if signal goes out or something like that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I brought you back.
It happened now. So just now. So.
Yeah. So we brought you back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool that like you have the opportunity to be able to work on something that it's like you grew up with. Now Ghostbusters is next on your bucket list.
Yeah, I've been knocking on every door and pestering everybody that I know.
What you need to do is bother Dan Aykroyd directly and just Dan, just give me a show.
Yeah,
just give me a show, Dan. I'll do it for you.
If you start talking about aliens, he will be receptive.
Yeah, exactly. You start aliens and Dan, I think I saw an alien. I saw the chupacabra.
Speaking of Dan,
and then he will listen. But yeah, I've done everything there. Yeah.
Did you know that he's got his own alcohol brand?
Yeah.
That Crystal Skull is his.
Cool.
Of course I did. This is a tiny one though.
Yeah, I was about to.
There's other ones. There was like this gorgeous, iridescent one for like $100. It was huge, but I was like, I'm not spending $100 just to get a skull.
No. Oh, that's cool.
But this is I like the little one.
The little one.
Anyways, this is Dan Aykroyd's alcohol.
Since we're talking,
I have not tried it.
Talking about Dan Aykroyd, and you just happen to have a bottle there. Serendipity.
Yeah, serendipity.
Bottled in Newfoundland, it says. I had no idea. Huh.
That's cool.
Very Canadian. Woo, Canadian. Let's go.
Well, Dan Aykroyd, is he Canadian?
Yep,
yeah,
he is. He is indeed.
There he goes. Yeah, because
Canadian actors.
He's had a long, very successful career as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's a lot of actors that are Canadian. It can sometimes surprise you.
Yeah, and I think Ghostbusters was kind of an accident for him because it was written completely different to what we have. So it was a whole other thing. It was Ivan Reitman and Harold Ramis who took it to reality.
Well, yeah. I think it was smart though. They scored it. They scored it like a serious movie.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled the special effects artist out of retirement to make sure that the special effects had that classic feel. And they let the actors improv, but they also shot every scene to script first.
Yeah.
So they had a clean cut to script, and then they had their improv cuts that they could splice together. Yeah. And I thought that was very smart on Reitman's part as a director.
Yeah, it was.
And Harold Ramis as a director utilized that for the rest of his career in every one of his films that he directed. So I know that he did Groundhog's Day was one of his. And so he directed that one backwards for reasons, but he made sure that they did their safe to the script film each time, and then it's like, okay, now you guys can improv and play with the script. But yeah, like that film is what killed his and Bill Murray's friendship, because Bill Murray was going through a really awful divorce, and he was really difficult to work with. At one point, he got an assistant that he would only communicate through that didn't speak English, and like, yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. But what is beautiful about the movie is, for some reason in the 80s, that was one of many movies that brought fantasy to real life, which was something that eventually became a norm, like Back to the Future, like something that could happen to you at any moment. Gremlins, something that could happen to anybody. The Ghostbusters, something that could happen to anybody. So it was like this, bringing this fantasy. We're not going to their fantasy world. They're bringing the fantasy to us.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing. The Goonies and all the stuff, everything was.
Yeah, Goonies was
yeah. So that kind of magic is what made the 80s movies so wonderful, because you could feel that they were real. Ghostbusters, you could see Ghostbusters and you feel that it was real. These guys, they were janitors. The kind of janitors. We're gonna be here. We're gonna take your ghost out. Don't worry, we're gonna take it out. So
the puppet that they had for Slimer on set wasn't called Slimer. It was called Onion Head, because it smelled so bad.
Yeah.
And no one liked working with it. I guess it was really difficult to work with. They had to film it in its own room in order to do. They did basically a double exposure for everything, and so they storyboarded out everything to make sure that when they filmed Onion Head Slimer, and they filmed all the scenes that he was in proper position and at the proper size for all the scenes that they had to double expose for. And so, like, when you see him there standing in the hallway, in front of Bill Murray and stuff like that, they actually had to film him in the dark, like top lit,
Yeah.
like on basically on a sound stage for that shot, like with the camera really far away. Yeah. It's the what they were able to do, like what you're talking about, the reality of the 80s. Special effects in the 80s I find very special because they were physically real. But we had the technology at a point where we had latex, and we had air bladders, and we had water bladders, and we had like goopy stuff and squibs, and just all this kind of cool like magic trick stuff, and like the scene in Terminator 2 where the Terminator and the two Terminators fight for the first time.
Yeah. And
you see like Arnold like put the pipe into into the T-1000 and stuff like that, and then he pulls the pipe out of him and stuff. If you watch that in slow motion, you can see the costume of like the silver down the costume and stuff like that. But only if you watch it in slow motion. Like it's so quick, and it's like that's early 90s, and I feel like that was like the cusp of that like perfect special effects, and then it got to computery.
Yeah, I think it got to computery, and that's where we lost it, because having that organic thing. For example, the Ninja Turtles, having those guys in the same room as everybody were, it's not the same thing as having everything, digitally made. So it's that magic feeling of having everything there, practical effects.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to be said for a guy being able to do a backflip in a turtle suit.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have a whole bunch of comments.
Yes, a whole bunch of comments.
Rob has appeared, and Rob has said YouTube fail, didn't get the live notification. Let's see here. And then Kay, we talked about that. Kay says, hi, Rob. And Pierre says, Peo cleaned up on the IP, Leif Stromps. That's the French. Dealing with life stuff, says Rob. Too many chaos. Sorry, Rob. That's awful. I hope things work out. Then Rob says, Chupacabra Brilliant. And then Kay says, you have one, the crystal skull. And so she says she met Dan Aykroyd, but not really. He was signing crystal skull bottles at a liquor store.
Oh.
She couldn't stand in line that long, so she saw him. And then Rob said, I met him on a film set. He was awesome. Yeah. And then Rob says, Guillermo del Toro loves practical effects. And then he's talking about the Mercury from Terminator. Bleeding. He likes the bleeding neck. And then Disney says the black hole robots are still not matched today. And that made me think about what you were saying, Dave, about the magic coming to us in the 80s movies. And like one of my brothers and my favorite movie was Short Circuit. And that robot, number 5, that was so alive, right?
Yeah, it was.
And then
Johnny
Pierre
5.
said the 8th and...
Johnny 5 was alive.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Johnny 5 is here,
and
actually.
The 8th and 2001 Space Odyssey still look amazing today, says Pierre.
You have Johnny 5, he's alive!
He's alive. I have Johnny 5
Whoa!
Okay, is that a robot one, or is that just a statue?
No.
What is that?
It makes sounds, but it doesn't have a battery on right now. But he's supposed to.
Did you make it? Did you buy it?
No, I bought it from someone who was making this kind of replicas, small replicas.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's kind of huge, you know. I have it here in my desk. You know, Johnny 5 is alive.
There's
the amount of times my brothers and I have quoted that movie, we would like constantly be like, "Hey, Laser Lips, your mother was a snowball."
Yeah, and we went from the second part. We were, "Los locos kick your ass! Los locos kick your ass!"
I still to this day, like when I get a new book, think to myself, input.
Yeah, input.
More input.
But yeah, I
was incorrect about what Rob was saying about the bleeding neck. He meant bleeding neck with Amber throat cut for a movie.
Oh yes, we did. We made a bleeding neck for a little short film that for one of Rob's friends, and all I did was I think push the blood bladder, and he did the cut and operated the camera. And I kind of pulled the neck back, but he had built the neck, and I think we painted it together. So
nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
I
had more fun building the satellite of love for Convergence. That was fun to do.
That was fun. That's cool.
Yeah, we there's pictures of us building the satellite of love for Convergence, and Convergence is a convention up in Minneapolis that happens every year, and they have these like theme rooms, right? So like you walk in and it's like Atlantis, right? And people will dress it up to be like an art room that you go into that looks like under the sea, right? And so one of these theme rooms one year was the Satellite of Love. And so Rob and I made the entrance to the room. And, you know, we had like the little portal and the like, you know, archway going around the door.
Yeah.
And then other people made the interior to the room. But that was our contribution.
Oh, that's cool.
Rob says that was the Convergence that made him leave.
Ooh. Yeah, I didn't attend. All I did was build the thing. I had fun making the thing. But yeah, there was I don't know, there's some drama that year from what I recall. I don't recall what the drama was.
We lost Dave again. Amber, sorry.
No, Dave, come back to us. Dave. Dave? Okay.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave's not here, man. Does anyone...
Well, we should talk about the next panel, and maybe he'll show up while we're talking about the next panel.
Okay, we'll get Dave in a second. He had power issues earlier. He was going to draw on the show tonight, but because of his power issues, half of his art studio went out, and so that's why I'm doing the art tonight. And we're just having him as an interview guest. But I got 10 minutes left, so that's enough time for one more panel. I hope he comes back.
Is it possible to have Dave back on another later date because of the lack of?
Oh yeah. We've already talked about it. I said, yeah, I'll have you draw sometime in the future. But that'll give us enough time to, start on the next panel. And 3 panels for me. That's pretty good.
Yeah. We did a lot of talking, though. Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's okay.
So what happens after the slap fight? Oh, you know what I should do? I should have actual words that say slap, slap, slap.
That's a very good idea.
Let's see. And then we'll do this. We'll have 100. And then line, space, and judgment. 100. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Slap, slap, slap. It almost looks like I know what I'm doing. Almost. Merge with layer below. Is he there? No, not there yet. Okay. That's okay.
Rob is telling you the drama of the convergence, and Kay also has some drama.
Oh no! You helped me understand the color layers. You wouldn't have soap operas without soap. That's me. Who's Johnny? She said. The Crystal Skull promotion. Let's see. Convergence in 1984 or 85. I couldn't stand not. Find the good nerds. That was where you got laid. Pretty disappointing. I was cosplaying June Cleaver. Drama. Yes, I was thrown under the bus for not securing a free workshop when I had one. All the con had to do was secure liability insurance. They said no. It was fun hanging out with a very spot on Conan the Barbarian. Let's see. Okay. Let me do an auto action and expand by 5 pixels. Oh no. Okay. Do this on its own layer. Here we go. And now I can do this. I think he might have messaged me on the well, yeah, I think he might have messaged me on Facebook. Let's see. Okay. Lost power here again. Sorry. No worries. We're good.
Should we do a new panel?
Yeah, we can do one more panel. Or I can just finish up this panel. I can finish up the slap fight.
It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of time to do it. Although we do have a lot of people in chat, so it would be good to get one idea.
Yeah, so let's just finish up the slap fight then. And then that way we don't have to worry about, drawing too much. But it was fun having Dave on.
Definitely.
And let's see. Slap, slap, slap. There. Now they're slapping. And then let me put those ones in the right one, which was panel 2. And then if I do panel 3, I got 7 minutes to draw it, which really doesn't seem like that much time. So let's delete panel 3. Okay, let's see. Drama, yes! They said no. Let's see. It was fun hanging out with a very spot on Conan the Barbarian. I'm so sorry, Rod. A workshop by you would have been fun. I did manage to find the Warner Brothers cartoon room. Love it. Yes. So this is where we leave off with the slap fight of how dare you get picked too, with them slap fighting in there, and then we got Humpty. Or no, this is Dumpty that we have, and that's okay. It was still a fun evening, and I think we're going to take off 5 minutes early. I got an In-N-Out hamburger that's been sitting here getting cold the whole time because you grabbed it.
Oh, yeah, no one wants cold hamburger.
Yeah, and I kind of want to eat it. I thought he'd be back in time for me to be able to eat it before the show, but that's okay. I'm gonna take off a little early tonight. So thank you everyone in chat for joining us. Thank you, Dave Alvarez, for joining us. I'm sorry that you lost power again. And thank you very much, Robin, for always being my co-host and better half. And I am going to do the end credits. This is produced by me, panelpanel.com. If you want to check out a bunch of free comics, Captain T is coming back sometime. Patreon.com if you want to support me. And then twitch.tv and YouTube to watch